Firefighters decided to lie on an official report and said they searched for 2 black children and never did. Never did. But the firefighters, they weren't fired for manipulating an official document, lying about their duty and oath to protect and rescue. Let's put up the picture of the family, okay? You see the 2 black children? They're dead. They're dead. The firefighters, 2 of them lied on the same report and said, oh, we did everything we could. We went inside, we did a sweep of the apartment. They did nothing, not a damn thing. Guess what? They are being protected, but I'm going to expose every single one of them. Keep that picture up. You're looking at Crystal Cooper. She's in the center. She's grieving the loss of her 2 sons, Ziara Mitchell and Lamar Mitchell, 12 and 9 respectively, dead. A Michigan mother is now demanding answers and accountability after 2 firefighters gave an all clear. Now that's important to note. All clear means nobody else should come here to help. They gave an all clear during a house fire that left both of her sons dead. Flint is where this happened. Flint Fire Chief Raymond Barton found that Sergeant Daniel Snagoki and Michael Zlotek completed false reports about what occurred on that Memorial Day weekend fire. He said it. He said, yeah, these guys lied. He did something else. They claimed to have searched for the children on the 2nd floor, where the bodies of both of them, the 12-year-old and 9-year-old, were discovered by 2 other firefighters 6 minutes later. Now, keep in mind the variables so far. The fire chief says, yeah, they lied on an official report. What is that? That's violation of oath of office. That is a crime. That's a criminal act. You can actually be charged with a felony. 2 other firefighters ended up finding the dead bodies a crucial 6 minutes afterwards, after those firefighters, initial ones, lied. There's more. The chief recommended that the 2 lying firefighters, who happened to be white, be fired. He said they gotta go. But one was allowed to resign because somebody decided to override the chief. And the other was suspended for 2 weeks and received additional search and rescue training before returning to the job because somebody decided to override that decision by the chief as well. Now, the person who decided to override this wanted to remain top secret. But I got the goods, and we're gonna expose the individual who did it. There's more. Let's put up a picture of Miss Crystal Cooper, who was speaking at the Flint City Council meeting. This was on October 19th. She was speaking because she said there's something foul here. The child's mother, both of the children's mother, Crystal Cooper, took her fight of justice to the Flint City Council. Cooper said she wants the firefighters who neglected to search for her sons to face criminal charges, and that is exactly what we want as well. They were later carried out of the home by 2 black firefighters who took the time to actually do a search. Both of the children died days later after being airlifted to Detroit Children's Hospital. They committed a crime. For them to say they searched the house and they really didn't search the house, for them to be suspended with pay, they weren't dealt with properly, according to the mother when she addressed City Council. Ms. Cooper, I agree with you 100%. Zaire and Lamar were in the home when the fire started on May 28th. I'm taking you back to the historical element. The boys were spending the weekend with their father. A witness reported seeing smoke billowing from the side of the residential structure, and there was possible entrapment, according to a 911 audio obtained by ABC 12. According to accounts at the City Council meeting, someone reportedly walked into the fire station where the smoke from the house could be seen about 200 feet away. Firefighters made the first call. So the two firefighters, Snagoki and Zlotek, were the first ones to respond. When they responded, what did they do? They decided to call off any other rescue efforts. They literally told people, we do not need any additional help. We have swept this place. It is clean. Everybody can move on with their lives. That's what they did. That's extreme. After performing the initial sweep of the home, they wrote in their reports that they entered the doorway of the bedroom where the children were found and used a thermal imaging camera to scan the room, and the results were negative. However, the firefighter whose team found the children after moving an air conditioning vent told the chief there was no way possible they entered the bedroom where the victims were found and missed them. No way possible that happened. The first child was found to the immediate left of the entrance of the room, and the other one was on the bed. In other words, if the firefighters would have simply walked into the room, if they would have simply walked into the room, they would have found them. Those children would possibly be alive right now, today. They did not get fired. They did not get charged. And one is still working. Barton wrote in the department's final investigative report that both of these firefighters, and I quote, knowingly made false reports in their incident write-ups. Just hard stop there. Knowingly made false reports in their investigative write-up. Felony. That's a felony charge. What else are we talking about at this point? Knowingly made false statements on an actual investigative document, violation of oath of office. You go to jail. They didn't. Their actions or inactions arise to disobedience according to FFD rules and regulations. And as such, their actions have impeded, injured, and hindered the progress, welfare, efficiency, and good name of the department. Now remember, this is the chief. The chief is giving you all the goods you need to effect an arrest. The chief of the fire department is not able to arrest. They can investigate, they can make a decision, make a conclusion, they can forward it even to a prosecutor, but he cannot arrest. So he said everything on the record to make sure everybody was very clear about what he believed happened here. Who's protecting him? Put up his picture. You see this fella? He's the mayor. Sheldon Neely is the one protecting him. And I don't give a damn what your office say. You're the one who decided to override the decision because based on your own city charter, you're the only one that can override a decision by the city manager. Now you can play like we're boo-boo the fool if you want to. Some Flint council members and community members also believe that the mayor that you're looking at, Sheldon Neely, overrode the chief's recommendation to terminate the firefighters, and that he has also conspired with the city attorney to keep his involvement secret. There's another man named Eric Mays, a city councilman who has called out the mayor specifically. Now, Eric Mays, he's not one to toy with. He's a real one. Some people do not like his style. I happen to love it. Council members drilled Flint Human Resources Director Eddie Smith about why the city did not terminate the firefighters. What did Smith say? Smith told the council that the final decision was made before the personnel files made it to his desk. What? The final decision was made before the personnel files hit his desk. Who has the power to do that? Only the mayor does, nobody else. There's more. Councilman Eric Mays, the man you just saw, said the mayor was the only one who could have given the order. Community activist Arthur Woodson claims the mayor tried to keep the incident under wraps until after the election season. Cooper said an attorney she hired to help with the incident, a supporter of the mayor, asked her to do the same thing. She hires counsel to represent the best interest for her deceased children and getting justice for their deaths. The counsel, the attorney, who's a supporter of the mayor, says, let's just play politics right now. Let's do what the mayor is suggesting through his actions. Now, I bring up Eric Mays, the city councilman, because I know he will see this segment. Dear brother, you have fought vigorously for your community. You have got in the face literally of constituents. Hell, they even locked you up a few times. These children should be alive today. Your mayor's already gone. He'll sell out. There's no hope for him. Eric Mays is the same man who did this at one council meeting a few years ago. Here it is.
I want this sent to the police. You ain't cracking me across my head. Well, you ain't gonna threaten nobody in no public meeting because your man don't want to answer an easy question. I'm gonna make a promise to you. You're not gonna interrupt this meeting threatening no elected official with no physical violence. I don't care what kind of suit you wear.
Councilman Mays.
I don't care what kind of suit you wear.
Councilman
You
Mays,
way out
I'm
of order.
asking you
And
to
you're
calm
making
down.
your client look bad.
Okay, I need that same spirit, councilman, as you continue to advocate for this family and expose the corruption that you know has already taken place. While some may disagree with this style, brother, I actually appreciate the fact you're not afraid to confront power. Check it when necessary. Mr. Neely said it would be political suicide if he let out that 2 young black boys were in this house and it was 2 white firefighters that gave an all clear. And those young boys were in that house for 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Woodson said. Councilwoman Tanya Burns claims, and I quote, the mayor and his people went after the boys' family on social media because the home did not have smoke detectors. Think about this. Instead of holding the public officials, the firefighters accountable, they decided to protect them and go after the grieving family because there was no operating fire detector. Flint council members have now voted unanimously to launch an independent investigation into the fire and the lack of disciplinary actions against these firefighters. There you have it. All right, we're going to continue to follow the story, bring you updates as they come. Trey, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, I'm not going to make fun of this or anything. You know, those 2 little boys are right around the same age as my 2 sons. I can't imagine anything worse or more tragic. It's very sad. I guess the main thing that I thought when reading about this was like, oh man, not the fire department too now.
Yeah.
You know, like it's always something new with a different police department every week. And you sort of like, I know they have a big like rivalry, but the cops and the firefighters are on 2 sides of the same coin. They both work for the city, serve the public. And you have not typically seen many songs like F the fire department, or if you saw a fire department hat or a bumper sticker on, you wouldn't think to yourself, well, I've got to avoid that guy at a party. You know what I mean? Like we haven't had the same sort of association with the fire department. And then seeing this, I was like, please don't let that start happening too. Like I can't have, you know, just the general public trust in the institution of the, you know, public fire department also start to erode in the current society that we live in. You know what I mean? Like I hope this is just an isolated incident because I ain't trying to see the fire department go the way of the cops.
Well, we'll see. We've had multiple stories here where fire department officials were involved in just as much egregious activity as some police officers. Definitely not as extreme as far as numbers, but it exists. There's a coalition there of some sort.